What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, over the past maybe 12 hours or so, sports news has been dominated by one, maybe minute and a half, 2 minute incident that occurred yesterday in a game between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Detroit Pistons. I don't know what it is about Detroit that causes such mayhem. Actually, I do know what it is, but it's still interesting, you know. So of course, LeBron James unintentionally, but not totally accidentally, elbowed Isaiah Stewart in the face, gashing open his face, and blood was just everywhere. And I did a video talking about the game, but I didn't on my other channel, but I didn't really talk about the incident and my thoughts because I like to think about these things for a little bit before talking about them. So let me say this. I do believe that LeBron threw that elbow intentionally, but I don't think that he intended to hurt Stewart. Excuse me. Every time I see Isaiah, I think about the actor Washington. But I don't think he intended to hurt Stewart. I don't think he intended to hit him like that, you know. Um, which is why LeBron immediately said, "My bad." Um, I think that LeBron was frustrated with either some physical play from a previous sequence or non-calls or it was something. I have to look at it, but he was frustrated, obviously, about something. Probably also the situation going on at hand with the season being 8-9 going into that game. Had they lost that game, and at the time they were losing by double digits. Um, so there's a lot of frustration there. I don't think, like I said before, that he meant to hit the guy. Now, as far as Isaiah Stewart's reaction, it's hard to say because we can't hear everything that's going on in the court. Now, someone that was courtside supposedly said they heard LeBron say when Isaiah got in his face, uh, you don't want none of this. Now, it could have been that plus the blood dripping on his face that made him see red. But as some people have pointed out, there was time before security got there where you were right there in LeBron's face and you didn't do anything. And so that's what a lot of people do. A lot of people, they wait until a lot of people are around and then they react. You know what I'm saying? Now, one thing I don't agree with is people who say that Russell Westbrook don't want none of the smoke. I disagree with that. Russell Westbrook, I'm not saying he would have went over there and would have started fighting them, but immediately Russell Westbrook was the first one I saw that reacted to the situation. People gotta remember where the fuck Russ come from. You know what I'm saying? These other guys, AD, all that lip service. Oh, we gotta protect our star. We gotta protect. Nigga, I don't see you nowhere there. I didn't see you anywhere in the periphery of what was going on. So shut the fuck up. Now, one thing I don't like about the media was how they were kind of demonizing Isaiah, like as if he was in the wrong for reacting like that. I thought, like, okay, I think anybody would react sort of like that if they were elbowed and bleeding. I mean, they were making it seem like he was overreacting. It's funny how, you could have a guy who goes out and delete two people, three, and shoot three people, and he's a vigilante hero, but someone gets elbowed and somehow he's still at fault. He's supposed to turn the other cheek. But we're the only people on earth that are supposed to react like that. We're all supposed to be these meek, docile animals. You know, everybody else is 3D human beings with emotions, but we're not supposed to react for some reason. But anyway, that's interesting. You had people on TV acting like they were paid defense attorneys and prosecutors for the case when it comes to the incident yesterday. I think it was intentional. It was not intentional, Skip. It was not intentional, Skip. Um, I do want to say this though. I want to say this. And this is the major point I want to make. I notice a lot of people who hate LeBron James are out for his blood, saying he needed to be suspended 10 games or what he did was unacceptable and all that. And what I really don't understand is, aren't these the same people that often talk about how the NBA is soft and, you know, they beckon for the era of the 80s and 90s when guys was physical and players were men and, now look, me personally, I'm not saying that I want to see an incident like Kermit Washington and Rudy Tomjanovich. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see another Malice at the Palace. I don't want to see, uh, you know, a situation like, what's his name? Oh, his name slips my mind right now. Uh, can't think of his name right now, but I don't want to see a situation where the goon that played in the 50s and 60s, elbowing, hitting Wilt in the face and fucking his mouth up and shit for the rest of his life and shit. To the point where you can actually tie that to Wilt Chamberlain's death some 30 some years later. I don't want to see incidents like that. Clyde Loveland, that was his name. I don't want to see situations like that. But a fight, a skirmish, um, look, there's a there's a large part of me that grew up watching that. I grew up watching that type of basketball where we had these fights. Now I get these players make all this money and um, they get fined heavily. We're in a different era, all of that. And what do? We complain all the time about the era that we live in. I don't mind seeing a skirmish. I love it. I like seeing. I used to remember seeing the Bulls and the Knicks and the Heat and the Knicks and Pacers and it was something we saw all the time. Like every 3 weeks there was a fight or a skirmish in the NBA. And look, first of all, 95% of these guys aren't really going to fight each other. They're not really going to throw a punch because they know that if they throw a punch, that's pretty much going to be the end of their career for the most part. I mean, but if they just, act for the cameras and, let out some frustrations, I don't mind seeing a couple of millionaires throw some punches and get fined. I want to see some action out there. I don't want to see guys just run up down the court um, throwing up threes to see who wins the 3-point contest between them. And, before the game, everybody's holding hands and singing Kumbaya. And then afterwards, even though they lost by 30, they go out with the opposition and have beer and, do other extracurricular things. Nah, I want to see maybe it's the old school, gladiator type mentality, but I like what the fuck I saw last night. I wasn't like, oh my God. I was intrigued. Yeah, like everybody. But I guess that's the man in, you know. Um, but yeah, the point is though, we've always said that LeBron was soft. LeBron don't show no aggression, and he ain't got no heart. This guy he just got it. He ain't got no. no heart about him, man. People got to pump him up and okay, well he showed some aggression last night, and then people want to kill him for it. I'm like, huh? Wait a minute now. So now LeBron all of a sudden is Bill Laimbeer now. We done watched this man play 19 years in his career. That was the first time he ever was assessed a flagrant uh, two in his career. He's only been ejected 2 times in his career. This is not a dirty player. Now people are having this narrative that he's a dirty player and this, that, and the other. I can't, I don't know, man. I can't rock with that shit, man. And LeBron irritates me with a lot of shit too, but I can't rock with that. And did we forget the situation between Michael Jordan and Steve Kerr back when Jordan first came back to the team, and Michael, out of frustration, deliberately punched Steve Kerr in the face. It won't no, uh, he threw a punch and it happened to land. No, he threw that motherfucker right in Steve Kerr's fucking face, blacked his eye. Cameras saw it, after the practice. Steve Kerr shit was fucked up. Mike got thrown out of practice and then later on apologized to Steve Kerr. But people gave Jordan a pass because, that was just his competitive. Yeah, this is my competitive nature. My competitive nature coming out. His competitive juices flowing. But with LeBron, he needs to be suspended for the rest of the season. I don't know, man. It's something really fucked up going on with some people, man, and their hatred toward this guy, man. Um, if anything, some people talk about officiating, but if anything, that incident sparked some life in this fucking team. It sparked some life in that fucking team, and they came back and won. So if you're a Laker fan, hey, it did something. It woke up Russell Westbrook because that was the best game he's had since he's been there. And shout out to Ticket TV because he made this point in the live stream earlier. That was the first time you saw the Lakers in a long time play as a team. That shit helped to galvanize that team. Whatever the fuck happened, even if it was temporary, shit, if that's the case, somebody need to punch somebody every fucking night. If that's gonna help the team. I don't know, man. Maybe I just have a maybe I'm a dinosaur or something, man. I don't know what the fuck, man. Like, I don't see what the big deal was. Like, these types of things happen all the time in the 90s. All the time. In the 80s. The 70s, forget about it. So I don't know, man. Maybe, I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't understand it because a lot of people that are being so critical of LeBron are the same ones that have been complaining about, how the league has gotten soft and, there's no passion and, there's no intensity. But the main ones complaining about this incident. So I don't know, man. Tell me what you guys think.